Kitzur Shulchan Aruch, Siman Kuf Zayin, Siman 107, Halacha Gimel, the third halacha. B'Shabbos HaGadol Lemincha, on Shabbos HaGadol, the great Sabbath, that is the Sabbath that immediately precedes Passover, Pesach, Lemincha, by Mincha time, in the afternoon. Nohagin she'en amrim barchi nafshi. We don't say the prayer barchi nafshi. Ella, rather we say avadim ha'inu. We start with the v'chu, etc. We start with the Haggadah, with the little text that's said at the Seder. The Sabbath before Passover, we read that text starting with Avadim Hayinu, just to go through the text. And there are communities that do that, and there are communities who don't do that. So I think in Lubavitch they do it, but in other Hasidic communities, perhaps in Sephardi communities as well, my personal custom is not to do it. The Mishnah Berurah, the notes from the Mishnah Berurah in my edition of the Kitzur say B'Shem HaGra, in the name of the Gra, the Gaon Rabbi Eliyahu of Vilna, Shelo Hayed Noheg Lomer Avadim Hayinu. They were not accustomed to say Avadim Hayinu. So you will see different customs depending on where you go, whether or not they start saying from the Haggadah on the Sabbath before Passover or not. I think in general the custom these days in most places is not to, in a way. But why do it? Why do they start reading in the Haggadah at that point? Or even, better stated, why is it even said? Why is this even called Shabbos HaGadol? Why is it called something different? Why isn't it just not the Sabbath before Passover? To answer that, Lefi, because Shabbos HaGadol, that on the great Sabbath, Haisa Haschalas HaGeula, that was when the beginning of the Geula, the salvation, the original salvation from Egypt, V'hadnisim, and the miracles. Now, what this is referring to is the 10th of Nisan, the 10th of Aviv, as it's called in the Chumash, the 10th of Nisan. The pasuk over there is brought in Parashas Bo. It is 12:3, Yud Beis Gimel. It says over there like this: Dabru el kol adas Yisrael, speak to all of the assembly or congregation of Israel, lemor, saying, Ba'asor l'chodesh, on the 10th of the month, hazeh, this month, meaning Chodesh Aviv, which is Nisan. V'yichulahem ish seh, each man should take a seh, leves avos, for the house of his father, seh lebais. Each household should have a seh set aside. They would take it into their house, and they held it for 4 days until the Passover, was to start. So the Kolboy and the Shabul Helechet bring down from other sources that on that year that this 10th of the month of Passover, the 10th of the month of Nisan, was on a Shabbos, was on a Shabbat. Therefore, to commemorate that, this is called Shabbos HaGadol, because that is when the beginning of the Geula started. Whenever the Bnei Yisrael, children of Israel, took aside a seh for themselves to be the first korban, or to be slaughtered. Okay, and since this is the just general halachos of Chodesh Nisan, I wanted to mention a couple other halachos, or customs rather. One of them is for Birchas Elanus, the blessing of trees. That starts in Chodesh Nisan in places in which it is sufficiently warm to start seeing the buds of fruits. So if you see that a fruit tree is budding and it's sufficiently warm wherever you are for that, and you see that the fruit tree is budding, it's definitely preferable to say the blessing on the new year for fruit trees, for the new so the bounty for the season. On the fruit, it's best to say the bracha as early as possible. So if you see that in Nisan, you can go ahead and say that. Now, certainly, if you don't see it, you can say it the next month also. Just look into the halachos for that. Also, there is a custom to not eat matzah starting from Rosh Chodesh Nisan, so that when we come to the Seder and eat matzah for the first time, it will be a fresh taste in our mouth. We won't already be tired of it. So that there is a general custom for that as well. Okay, I will see you next time. This ends this Siman. There were only 3 halachos in the Siman. So next time I will see you. We will begin Siman Chof Ches, Siman 108, Dine Hachitin, the rules, the laws of the wheat, the kemach, and the flour, the matzahs, for the matzahs. We will begin that in the next video. Okay, thank you very much. Kol tov, hatzlacha rabba. Keep learning.